Am I the asshole for making my sister-in-law feel bad about saying I should straighten my hair? Well, I'm a mixed race woman, but I'm very black looking. With that, my hair, while not as kinky as it could be, is very curly. I usually straighten it, but every so often I just let the curls fly. I married into a white family, but it's never been an issue. I think I'm closer to my in-laws than I am to most of my own dysfunctional family. We had a family dinner this week since some of the restrictions have eased. While having dinner, my mother-in-law and I were discussing some of the hurtful comments I've been hearing these last few weeks. Specifically, a lot of people have been shouting slurs at me in my small city, and someone threw a half-empty can of soda at me. My sister-in-law, husband's brother's wife, who up until this point has been very sweet to me, said, "Well, that's sad. Maybe if you straighten your hair, you'll look less ethnic and people will leave you alone." I just gasped at her for a moment and then said, "Well, my hair had been straight every time, and even if it wasn't, I don't see why that makes it okay for someone to call me a black cunt in the parking lot." The table went quiet and got awkward. My in-laws were all on my side, but my brother-in-law messaged me to tell her that her intentions were good and that I humiliated her in front of the family. So Reddit, am I an asshole? For reference, my sister-in-law, who I really do like, is newer to the family. I've been with my husband for 11 years, and they've been married for one. I don't want her to feel left out or judged. I don't think she meant to hurt my feelings, but she did. I feel especially bad because my other in-laws who have known me defended me, but I don't think she actually meant to be cruel, just ignorant. She's from a very small, white town and hasn't met many people of color. Edit. I officially understand what it means to have your inbox blow up now. I want to clarify a few things and give a brief update. I feel like a jerk because of the environment we were in at the time. I was thinking maybe I could have approached the topic with her later, but I didn't. I also didn't snap or yell at her. Like some of the comments say, I stated my comment with a slight laugh because it was already so awkward. My sister-in-law is not racist, like some have implied. I truly believe that. I think she's arrogant on this because she's never had to think about things like this. Does that make it okay? Absolutely not, but it doesn't mean she's disgusting. I'm taking this overwhelming not the asshole as a sign that I didn't need to wait for a safe space to make my comment. I've also already texted her this morning about meeting up today, and she responded very enthusiastically. I think this is an opportunity for growth, so I'm gonna take it. I also think that if we all hold the view, we shouldn't have to be the ones to teach them so close, we may lose out on some really good chances to build bridges instead of walls. I don't have to be the sole source of her black education, but I can definitely be a clip note. I mean, like, of course her comment makes her. Sorry, not the OP's comment. The sister-in-law's comment definitely makes the sister-in-law an asshole here, right? But I think what's even crazier is how the OP just kind of is okay with it. Not like okay with it as in like, okay, this behavior is okay, but is completely accepting and understanding that she knows her sister-in-law isn't normally like this and is probably just misinformed because of her upbringing as opposed to her being genuinely racist. Now, was her comment a little racist? In my opinion, yes, for sure. But that doesn't exactly make her a bad person. It's just that maybe she didn't know any better, which, again, seems kind of crazy to me. But, like the OP, I'm willing to give her sister in law the benefit of the doubt here. So, despite my personal opinion, I really like that the OP is so understanding in a way and doesn't immediately just take complete offense to it. Because she should be offended because it's not an okay thing to say to someone, but she doesn't just completely change her view of her sister-in-law because of this one comment that she made. And I think that takes a lot inside of someone, and it's really impressive. Update 17 days later. So my sister in law and I met this morning for coffee. Coffee turned into lunch, which turned into pre dinner drinks. We literally have been together all day. She mentioned she had been trying to figure out how to reach me for a few days, but I did it for her. She apologized and assured me that she was humiliated, but not because of me directly, but because as soon as I made my response, she realized how stupid her comment was. She was also texting her brother in law because she had no idea he reached out to me and was mortified. She offered to let me read the text, but I declined. That's between them. We talked about my hair and my life story and microaggressions. We also discussed the BLM movements, and I find that we have more in common than I could ever hoped. She cried, I cried. It was a very open moment, and her words I never really understood told me everything I needed to know, although there are probably some very concerned baristas wondering what the fuck was happening. I did tell her it would be very beneficial to look into some literature because her future nieces and nephews will deal with similar issues, and she downloaded some books while sitting with me at the table. She told me she just wants to know what to do because she is clueless. I think that's fair. If you've never had to put out a fire, you may panic when your stove is suddenly engulfed in flames. I hadn't heard from my brother-in-law yet, but we literally just left each other a little bit ago, and she's got some words for him. Really, I'm actually very happy this happened. We had a great chance to get to know each other better. We even discussed theology, as she is very Christian and I'm an atheist slash former average churchgoer, and even that conversation was very positive, rather than accusatory or uncomfortable. We're meeting again next week. I may have just inadvertently started a bit of a book club. I assured her she is more than welcome to reach out to me anytime. I'd rather she have someone she cares about that also cares about her to help her in her development, rather than make a blunder in front of someone potentially less forgiving. She wants me to call her on her dumb statements, and I'm happy to do so. Again, I stand by what I said. She's a wonderful person suffering from some ignorance, but she's open to learn, and I couldn't ask for more. Since the first type written update, we've had lunch and or dinner 3 times. It's been very fun, and such is a relief to spend time together. Okay, so I guess this is like an edit. My brother-in-law has since texted me as well, and we had lunch too, as a group, and he's already apologized. He was trying to defend his wife, but didn't stop to think about the circumstances. We're all good now. It's been very fun to have an excuse to spend more time together. Thanks for everyone that reached out, and I'm glad I took initiative. Again, this is just another very mature thing when somebody messes up and somebody is ignorant, kind of like the OP says, instead of just completely criticizing them for it and then hating each other, it's much better to educate them and make sure that their future is better in the way that they don't make the same mistake again. And I think this story does that insanely well. And I'm pretty sure it's time for me to get off Reddit for the day because, wow, that is a really healthy, communicative relationship that they have. And it's awesome to see. Anyways, let me know what you all think in the comments below. And I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.